Greetings, everybody. I hope y'all can hear me. Give y'all a few seconds to get in. It's been a minute since I've gone live on my YouTube channel. I have been very, very busy. Sorry, trying to straighten this out. But I've been very, very busy, preoccupied with actually doing the work in the community outside of the social media space. And outside of the whole virtual space, because the actual work is actually in the community. So it's been a minute, like I said, since I've actually gone live. But I've been looking at some things on social media, and I wanted to address a few things with you all today. Make sure you all hit the like button, hit the thumbs up button as you all are coming in. Make sure you share the video. If you're new to this space, welcome. Please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And I see a few of y'all are coming on in. So welcome, welcome, welcome. I just want to address a few things because, again, this is just a reflection of based on what I've been seeing in the social media space. Come on in, everybody. Make sure y'all hit the thumbs up button. Make sure y'all share this broadcast. Thanks so much for y'all coming on in. So I've been observing a lot of things that have been going on the last really couple of years, but most recently the proliferation of social media is definitely having an impact, if you will, in the real world. A brother on social media that goes by M, his @ is till we free, I believe. He did a Twitter thread the other day. I think he did a great job of like capturing the so-called divest movement among what they say is black women on social media. Don't get me wrong, there are some phenotypically looking black women, what I call disturbed black women in color only, who perpetuate this idea of so-called divesting from black men or not doing labor. And I mean, they really are hateful. That's the best way to describe them. They're really hateful on social media. Some of them have called for aborting black babies, black male babies. I'm sorry, black male babies, aborting and killing black male babies. Just really wild, crazy shit. Here's my thing. I don't know how many of you all have watched the documentary, if you will, on Netflix that describes Cambridge Analytica and describes how social media can be used as a tool to manipulate people, right? Black people, we have always been under the purview. It's very sickening, absolutely. We have always been under the purview of the U.S. government's forces in terms of how to keep us controlled. Sorry, I'm not sure what happened with that. Okay, hopefully y'all can still hear me. Give me a thumbs up in the comments if you all can still hear me, or put a 1 in the comment if you all can still hear me. Make sure you all hit the like button when you come in and share. Anyway, I titled this a historical analysis, right? Because we cannot look at contemporary issues without having historical analysis, in my opinion. You just can't. You cannot look at contemporary issues without a historical analysis. I encourage everyone to study. Please study. It's imperative that you understand history, that you understand the things that have happened prior, the things and how certain things evolve and continue. And so COINTELPRO comes to mind when I think about how these sisters are or some of them I actually believe are actually bots. Some of them I actually believe are part of the social media team that these alphabet agencies from the NSA, FBI, CIA, all these alphabet agencies, you best believe they have social media teams. You best believe they got people out here sitting behind computers, stirring up shit online to create division and create this perception that black people, and by and large, actually hate each other. Because social media can give you a warped sense of reality. I want to encourage us to remember social media is not reality, y'all. I know that we're going into a time where the metaverse and people are encouraging you to get into the metaverse. I actually think that's very dangerous. That people are, succumbing to all this new shit, this new technological really form of slavery. I don't want to even really get deep off into that right now, but what I am encouraging people to do is to really put things into context when you see things on social media. So this brother that I started off talking about, his Twitter thread, he actually ended up putting into a Medium piece. I actually shared it on my Facebook page. If you all follow me on Facebook, I'm back on Facebook after a 30-day ban. And keep in mind, most of y'all know me, I'm very political. So I only share political information. And so these people are banning me talking about real stuff and political information. I don't know why this keeps happening. I'm sorry. Can you all still hear me? Make sure in the chat. I apologize that keeps happening. Anyway, that's why I'm on my phone doing this recording. Put one in the chat if you all can hear me. I'm back now. Anyway, and I'm driving too, so trying to multitask. Put a one in the chat if y'all can hear me. Can y'all hear me? Hit the thumbs up button, share. Yes, peace, son. Peace, everybody in the chat. Peace, peace, peace. Anyway, I keep losing my place because I'm getting notifications on the phone. So anyway, I'm just asking us to keep things into context. We know that during COINTELPRO, the FBI sent letters. That's because social media wasn't out then, right? They actually sent letters made up to cause division between black power groups. We know that one of the worst examples of how this actually materialized in the real world. We know they did it with Martin Luther King. We know they did it with Malcolm X. We know they did it with Bunchy Carter, which of course had the US organization and the Black Panther organization in Los Angeles literally fighting each other. And now we know that Bunchy was actually murdered because the FBI was sending, information, sending lies saying that, other black people were talking negatively about the other black people, but it was really the FBI sending the letters and causing the division. So if they did that in the 60s and it was highly successful, I'm just asking y'all to think with me and let me know if you feel like I'm off base. I'm just asking y'all to rock with me. If they did that back in the 60s and 70s with a high success rate, and we know that there was congressional hearings around COINTELPRO, and we know that some of the files were opened up, but a lot of the files have never actually been made public. If it's been so successful and there has never been any closure to COINTELPRO, what makes y'all think that they're not using it today in new forms? If it was so successful, it was highly successful. COINTELPRO was highly successful in dividing up our community, in capturing our political prisoners and either murdering them straight up like they did Fred Hampton, like Bunchy Carter, like so many others, or imprisoning them indefinitely like our brother Mutulu Shakur, who is unfortunately to this day dying of cancer, and the U.S. federal government, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris's U.S. Bureau of Prisons, refuses to give him a compassionate release. This is today. We still have political prisoners. So if we know that they need to keep division up within the black community, particularly between black women and black men, y'all do know that they're using social media to do that, right? I'm just asking a question, because to me, all I need to do is really make an inference in understanding history and understanding what we know to be factually true based on the evidence that is already out there in books, in everything. I don't need CBS, which is totally co-opted by a lot of these agencies. This is just my belief. I believe that the American media establishment, it is not the same as it was in the 60s and 70s, where there was still journalistic integrity, where you still had investigative journalism. Investigative journalism does not exist anymore. Hell, real journalism, I argue, don't fucking exist anymore in the United States. It's entertainment. Look at it. It's all entertainment and conjecture, and it's all about a so-called right-left paradigm, which is false. Anyway, I actually don't even own a television in my house. You know what I mean? Because of the fact that everything is manufactured. Again, this is just my opinion based on the knowledge that I know has been factually substantiated throughout recent history. And so, do I need CBS or an investigative journalist to tell me that the U.S. federal government, which has always been at war with black people, especially black men, to tell me that they're using real black women in some cases, right? Because we know that they use real black people against black people. They've done that since enslavement with the overseers. We know that, right? I mean, I'm just asking y'all, do we know that that's historically accurate? Is it historically accurate? That's a question, yes or no, in the comments. So if we know that to be true historically, and now we have technology where they can create perceptions and create reality on top of using real people, don't put too much stock in what you all are seeing on social media when it comes to black people and all this fighting. I'm looking at black people calling each other FBA, ADOS. We dividing ourselves up into sects and into sects, SECTS, on social media and fighting each other on the white man's social media platform, and then calling ourselves stand on code. How are you ever stand on code using the white man's social media platform to do whole what is it called, Twitter Spaces? Denigrating your entire Twitter Spaces is denigrating other black people, and you calling that stand on code? Nah, man, something wrong with that, bruh. Nah. And quiet as this kept, you know, I'm kind of young, but a lot of the people that's using social media in this way are much younger than me. And so for me, I know for a fact, especially if they came through the U.S. public food system and even private schools, they do not have an accurate understanding of the history of our people in this country. A lot of people don't. They're not teaching you what the FBI did to the Black Panthers and the US organization and our black radical organizations. They're not telling the truth about that, even in colleges. You gotta actually have lived through the 90s, through the last, what I call the last rise of the Black Power movement in the early 90s, early to mid 90s. We have not had a legitimate rise in the Black Power movement. Hold on just a second. This is my son. Hello? Yes, I am. I'll see you in a second, son. Okay. So there has not been a legitimate, in my opinion, again, these are just my opinion. Y'all can let me know if I'm off base, according, you know, based on what you know about history. Let me know if I'm off base in the comments, or if you feel like I'm right on point. But based on our understanding of history, to me, we have to always be skeptical of using these people's platform, especially as technology continues to advance. These people are going to have us believing in shit that is not real. I actually live in the world. Most of y'all live in the world, right? I live in a community in suburban Washington, D.C. that is majority black. There's other people, of course, but the district that I live in my community, is a majority black district. Black people are not out here killing each other. We don't hate each other. When we see each other, we wave. We're cordial. This is real life. Now, am I saying that some of the things that we're seeing, in the black community is not happening? I'm not saying that. What I'm saying, though, on social media specifically, is be careful. It has been proven. Again, go back and watch Cambridge Analytica and how people can be manipulated using social media. To me, I just make inferences. I take information here, I take information there, and I'm an intelligent person. I know how to think critically. The other thing that we have in a lot of this new generation is people don't really know how to think critically anymore. We don't know how to make inferences, look at information and say, oh, okay, well, 1 + 1 is 2. So, like making inferences, like putting things together and saying, oh, okay, well, this could be a likely outcome because of X, Y, and Z, because the conditions are there for that, is what I'm saying. And so when I see this brother say that he thinks that these black women who are calling themselves divestors are a part of the alt-right, to me, that is a misanalysis. I think he's right to call out these sisters who are saying that black men are trash and using social media to do it, and these bots, because I actually believe, some of these people who are using social media calling for the death of and calling for, the social dilemma, that too, calling for the death of black men, calling for the death of aborting black male fetuses. What I know about us inherently is that we're not that damn hateful. I'm not saying that is impossible. What I'm saying is some of the things that we're seeing on social media are not actually being done by us. That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying is for you to just think critically when it comes to this piece on social media and to put things into the proper perspective. That's all I'm saying. Now, do I think that, some sisters who've gone through the university system, especially if they've taken women and gender studies classes, are they like sort of on the road to that kind of stuff? Absolutely, because I believe that the university system, again, has also been co-opted by the powers that be in a lot of ways. And there's some evidence that I could share later on that as well. So I'm just saying that just be careful in using a lot of energy going back and forth with bots on social media. Sometimes there's not actually real people. Sometimes it's actually a bot, or sometimes it's actually a person who might not even be in the United States. They call them troll farms, Google troll farms, where it's literally people in the room on social media keeping up mess. Google that. There's something that's literally called troll farms, that people have jobs where they keep up mess on social media and they target black people. That's all I'm saying. Stop thinking that just because a person has a profile picture that's black, you can get any picture of a black person off the internet, make up any kind of social media account. And notice, here's the other thing. I get banned all the time on Facebook. I don't get banned on Twitter. I don't believe I've ever been banned on Twitter, and I've never been banned on Instagram, even though I know Facebook owns Instagram. But I get banned all the time on Facebook, specifically for sharing political information. Have you noticed that the hateful comments that people make about other black people never gets people banned on these social media accounts? If you get on social media right now, especially on Twitter, especially these people who are keeping up mess and calling for the death of black men, they actually get more traction on Twitter. They don't get banned. So whose interest is it in for us to keep that kind of thing going? Just think about that. That's all. Whose interest is it in? Is it in the interest of black people for that type of divisive rhetoric to be proliferating amongst our atmosphere? Who benefits from that? That's all. Yeah, I'm not gonna be here long. Got a lot of stuff to do today. I'm actually traveling tomorrow. heading down to Miami for the Black Film Festival. So I'm really, really looking forward to that. I just had to get that off my chest. Though I think the brother is right on point, but I'm not sure that categorizing these women as the so-called alt-right is the correct analysis. I believe it's a better analysis to call it neo-COINTELPRO. Neo simply means new. So I believe it's an evolved form of the success of the COINTELPRO of the 60s and the 70s. That's what I believe. So I believe that when you see these bots or actual black women in some cases, again, I'm not saying that it's not real. Some of it is actual black women. I believe that it is best accurately described as neo-COINTELPRO or new COINTELPRO, or an evolved form of COINTELPRO, which we know is orchestrated by the U.S. government. And we cannot lose sight that the U.S. government has been at war with black people since we've arrived on these shores. Don't take away the responsibility and the culpability of the U.S. government and its war on black America, particularly our black men. That's all I'm saying. I know that there's a lot of propaganda out there around January 6th. There's a lot of propaganda, pro-government propaganda, actually coming from the media. And I think that is very, very dangerous for people to be ingesting that type of propaganda, because it would allow you to be on the side of your government uncritically, especially as a black person. So that's all I want to say. I've been on here 20 minutes. I appreciate, you all rocking with me. I appreciate y'all sharing the broadcast, hitting the thumbs up button and all of that. I'm going to try to do more lives and kind of download the things that I've been thinking about. But I have been so busy lately, again, in the real world during the work, especially in the community around this education justice piece for black students. So yeah, I have not had the time to really be on my YouTube channel that much, doing these videos and doing these downloads with y'all, but I'm going to try to do a better job of checking in with you all and talking about, these new trends that I'm definitely seeing in our atmosphere. All of us are on these social platforms, so I think that we need to be very careful and also very skeptical in how we're using these platforms, and to not use these platforms to sow more division amongst our people, especially because these platforms are open. Anybody can see it. It's not just between us. It's not, when we're fighting with other black people on social media, literally anybody in the entire world can see it. And so just asking us to be mindful of things like that and how those kind of things can be weaponized against our community. That's all. I'm speaking on this out of love, deep love for black people, deep love for our people, and wanting to see us to be prosperous and to see us on the path of victory and liberation. And with that, I am going to go ahead and get on with the rest of my day. Like I said, got a lot of things going on today because I am traveling tomorrow. And so it's good to see you all, and hopefully again, I plan to go live a little bit more often and converse with you all, but hopefully you all are having a great day.